everyone, welcome back to Rachel and Bella Crafts. Rachel here. I hope you're all well. If this is your first time visiting our channel, welcome to the channel. And if you are a returning subscriber, it is great to have you back with us. So for today's video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different today. Those of you that have seen Rose's video will know what's going on. But for those of you that may not yet have seen it, I'll just quickly explain. So Rose has got a YouTube channel. It is called Journals in Time, and she is part of my design team. She is also one of the admin in our Facebook group, and she's also been in the recent collaborations that we've had. So you should know who Rose is. She contacted me last month, and she had an idea for something to do for St. Patrick's Day. Rose is Irish, she lives in Ireland, and obviously I live in Wales, and she kind of, we had this thought that obviously with us both being of Celtic heritage, it might be good for us to do something together and have a bit of fun for St. Patrick's Day. So we thought we would do a few little projects for you over the next couple of weeks leading up to St. Patrick's Day and then on St. Patrick's Day, and just to have a bit of fun. So I am not going to go into all of the details. What I am going to tell you is there is a hashtag for the challenge. It is hashtag JJ Shenanigans. I will put that on the screen for you now so you can get the spelling right. I will also put it down in the description box. But in order to find out about the giveaway and about how you enter for a prize, you need to go and watch video number 1, which is on Rose's channel. She put that up a couple of days ago. I think it was last Thursday she put it on. So if you go back, I will put the link to her video in my description box. But if you go back and watch Rose's first video, not only will you see how to do the things that I'm about to do now, because I'm not going to give you a tutorial on what she did. I'm going to show you what to do with what she did. But yeah, definitely go and check that out. Not only that, but very excitingly, Rose has got the most beautiful kit out that is all Irish theme. It's called Echoes of Ireland, and again, if you go and have a little look at her channel, you'll be able to see it in full. But they have got the most beautiful pages. My desk is covered. It's been like a rain of ephemera here. You can see what I've been doing the last couple of days. I've just been sat cutting out heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps and heaps of ephemera. I don't think I've ever seen a kit with so much ephemera in it. I mean, look, there's just tons and tons and tons of it. So thanks, Rose, because I've got to sit and sit and ink it all after now. But I tell you what, there is some beautiful, beautiful images in here. So I'll just put my tidy pile back over there. I am not that untidy normally, I promise. Well, I am actually, but here we are. It's a work in progress. It's all there because I'm looking for stuff. But it's amazing. There's stamps in there. There's pockets in there. She's even done, her own washi tapes in there. There's images from the Book of Kells in there. It's amazing. Beautiful tags, all sorts of things. But go and check it out. Have a look at her video, because in the first video, there's a coupon code for you to have money off this kit. So go and check that video out. Right, without further ado, I am now going to explain to you what I'm going to do today. So how we're going to run our kind of challenge is that Rose is doing video number 1. In video number 1, she showed a series of different ways in which you could make replicas of stained glass windows. So my job today now is to do something with that information, basically. So she's shown us how to do it. So I kind of got to take that idea now and go and make something with it. I've got another video then, you'll be seeing me again then on Thursday, where I will be showing you how to make Celtic crosses. So I'm not going to tell you any more about that. But then next week then, I think on Monday then next week, Rose will be back then to do something with what I've shown you how to do. And then on St. Patrick's Day, we've got a bit of a joint challenge together then. So, but we'll tell you more about that nearer the time, okay? So what I've done is Rose very kindly put a freebie into the Facebook group, and it was images of stained glass windows, but obviously with nothing on them. I'm looking around my desk to see if I want to show you, but I haven't. I've coloured them all in. Oh, hang on, I have got one left. So basically something like this. I'm kind of giving the plot away now, aren't I? But she gave you a lovely set of images that you can have for free from the Facebook group, and then you can print them out and follow any of her techniques that she showed in her first video. And she basically has tried everything every way that there is to be able to replicate stained glass windows. So I'm going to show you today now how, after you make your replica stained glass windows, what you can then do with those images. So I had to sit and really kind of think hard because I didn't actually have the material. I'm not as au fait with mixed media as Rose is. She's much more experienced than I am in mixed media, and she has obviously more supplies and that kind of thing. So I was a bit like, I'm not quite sure how to do this. So good to think. And then I thought, right, Rachel, just go back and look what's in your drawers. So I came back and had a look to see what I had. And what I had was these, which I thankfully had for Christmas, was a set of metallic pens. I believe they came from Hobbycraft. I don't know anything other than that about them, but I just know that they're really shimmery wet pens and they dry, leaving a metallic finish. And they are actually really nice to work with and quite, what's the word that I'm looking for? Precise. That's the word I'm looking for. Because if you look at the images, there's not an awful lot of space to work in. So I had to be quite careful. I did a couple of times, you know, go in or out of the lines, but you know, I tried to stick with it as best I could. So that is what I have used, and I've done that by printing out the freebie printables onto a sheet of vellum. So that's the stained glass windows that I'm going to be working with this afternoon, okay? So what I did is I used those shiny pens. Now I tried a couple of different techniques with them because when I did this one, and yes, that took me a long time because you know my eyesight's not the best, but when I was doing it, I found that obviously if I was going over the black lines, it was covering over the black lines. So I then got a very thin marker pen, which is not very dark, I know, but it did the job, and I just went back over it then and just kind of redrew in my black lines. But I'm sure it could be done a lot better, a lot neater and a lot more precise. But I'm just was a bit up against it for time. So this one I think turned out a little bit better. I'm quite pleased with how that one turned out. And again, I've gone over that then with just literally a black pen to just bring the colour back in after a little bit of it bled. But I did think to myself, it might be better off doing it on the other side, but of course you wouldn't get the shine in. So those pens are great because they have got a really nice shine on them. Yeah, so I was really pleased with that. And then this one I did try doing the other way around. So I coloured it on the side that it wasn't printed on, but then I thought, yeah, that looks really dull, so I used this side instead and then just went over it with black pen. So I'm going to show you now a little project today, what we can do with some of our stained glass windows. So let me just move some of these aside a second. So what I've done is I've taken one of the pieces of paper from the kit, one of the sheets on the kit, and I've cut it in half. Okay, now it doesn't matter if there's anything on the back or not, and I'll tell you for why in a moment. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to make a pocket using half a sheet of A4 and using one of my stained glass windows. Now you're going to want to know now how big this is, aren't you? So let me just quickly tell you. And I tell you something, it was really funny because I actually just cut them out, the whole thing out the sheet. I didn't measure any of them, and this just happened to be the same size, you know, the right size. So yeah, my piece of window is just over 9.5, nearly 10 centimeters wide by 12 centimeters. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a pocket where we're going to stick this to the front, and then we're going to bring this down and we're going to make a flap. So if you've got your piece of vellum, bring it down. You're going to want to leave a gap at the top there of about, is that an inch? I'm always saying it's about an inch. Yeah, about an inch gap, okay? So we're going to bring this down and we're going to leave it so that you've got about an inch there just at the top, and then just make a crease and fold that in half then. There we go. Now we're going to take this back up and we're going to leave it so that it's overhanging by about 2 inches, I'm going to say there. But basically, depending on how long your vellum is, make sure that the flap that you're bringing down covers it well, all right? Because that's going to be the entrance to your pocket then. And then what you're going to do then with this bit over the top is literally just fold it back over behind out the way. All right, so you don't even have to cut anything. This is great, isn't it? No cutting. Well, apart from cutting the A4 sheet of paper in half. So now we've got ourselves a nice little, and that's by folding that back. Look, we've made that now quite nice and firm, because obviously this is the bit that's going to get opened and closed, isn't it? Whereas we're going to be reinforcing this section here by fixing this to this, but at least then when you're opening that back and forth now, that's a double ply. So it doesn't matter if you're using paper or if you're using cardstock, it'll be fine. So the next thing that I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my corner cutter, which I'm just looking around for. There's one there, that'll do. I'm just going to round off these corners because I think they'll look a bit better if they're rounded off. There we go. And then I'm going to ink the whole thing before we fix the pocket on. So you'll be very pleased to know, here's one I inked earlier. Ta-da! Right, so the only thing left to do now is just to glue this in place so that that's nice and reinforced. Now, obviously, you can stitch this project, you can not stitch this project. It's entirely up to you. It's all according to the type of finish that you want. I probably would normally add a little bit of stitching, but for the sake of the video and just ease, I'm not going to today. And for those that don't have sewing machine, so that you can see how good it can look without it. So just stick that down there, and then I'm just going to stick that then onto the back of here. Like I say, this is just to save any cutting, and it just reinforces your flap. There we go. Glue is getting a bit. Do you know what? I've had this bottle, oh my goodness, months and months and months and months and months ago. Mum gave me this, and it's lasted ages. Does it normally last this long? That's what I feel like to ask, because I was using a lot of the other stuff, Fabri-Tac and then Beacon, but I started using this lately, and I'll be honest, I do actually prefer it. Now I've gotten the hang of it. I used to make a right mess of it when I was first using it. I don't know why. I tend to get messy with everything, don't I? But I've gotten the hang of, you know, and of course I think this helps. These are the icing tops, aren't they? And once I put that on there, made a huge difference. Right, so anyway, enough prattling about glue. So the next thing that we're going to do, sorry, the reason I've left the papers on this because I've got an overhead light on this evening because it is a bit late here, and I don't want the glare coming at you off my mat, so that's why I've left the papers on my left. Right, so the next thing we're going to do now is going to very carefully take a little bit of my sticky glue, and this is only just to kind of make it put it in place so it doesn't move about when we do the next step. Okay, so obviously get your bit of acetate as close to the edge as you can, and I'm just going to put a very, very thin layer of glue across the bottom just to hold it in place on my pocket while I then fix it into place. Otherwise it'll be sliding around everywhere, as vellum does tend to have a tendency to do. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do now, this is the point which I'm saying you could either stitch or you can use the technique I'm going to use now. So what I'm going to do is, this is the time for you to grab your washi tape. So if you've got anything that's kind of like oldish and funky, obviously if you're using this kit, I mean, whatever you're doing this with, you know, tailor it to your own thing. So I've got one here that's, I think this is out of a Creative Studio box actually. And basically what we're going to do is, we're going to just go around the edge and add a little bit more interest so that it's not too stark, because obviously where the vellum lies, you know, with it, it's okay where I've coloured in the stained glass window, but the rest of the vellum then is quite stark, isn't it? So just by doing this, it'll add a little bit of interest to our pocket. Okay, and then I'm just going to go up the side. I don't know what I've done differently today, but my seat feels so uncomfortable this evening. It's like I'm sat on the mat. It's a ridiculous thing to say. But yeah, everything just feels really close. Plus it's because I've got my reading glasses on. That could be it. Actually, now I think about it, that could be it. Nothing to do with the cushion on my chair. It's my reading glasses. Right, so there's that one there. And then I think I'll do this one while it's laid down quiet. Oh, you're not playing ball tonight, are you? Right, sit still now. Come on, behave. Okay, that's better. And then I'm going to just run that up there. I'm going to just cut that off there as well. There you go. Okay, now peeling that off our glass. Turn this over now and then just fold it over the back. And then the other way around. And there we have our vellum pocket. How easy was that? And just to finish it off, because I do think they look rather marvellous, here is one I made earlier, a little altered paper clip. Just a little bit more interest. And there we go. Super easy, super simple, and it'll look great inside your Irish journal. I love it. I really love it. Okay, so I did have a few other ideas, and I'll just show you those now. So let me just move my washi out the way. I'm really rather pleased with that. So there's my stained glass windows with our pocket. And then earlier I tried these. So this was a envelope that came with the kit. So there's a couple of envelopes in the kit. There's this one, and then there was another one which I've cut a piece out of now. Where's the piece? There we are. That was in there. So I took my, well, actually I took Mum's. This is not mine. I've got to return this on another soon. Took a lovely curly cutter thing, and I cut the hole. And then I placed one of my stained glass window effect things in there. And then, there you go, it's in there now. We've got a cute little envelope, and it's got a stained glass window. And then not only that then, but when you put something inside, you'll be able to see that there's something inside of the envelope. But now it just feels doubly Irish. So I think that looks really cool. And then the third one that I've done was I made a little file folder thing. And I placed it in here. So all I did to make this was, I will show you very quickly now, was I took an A4 sheet of paper, I split it down into 3 like this, folded it into 3. There we go, just did that to work out which way is half. And then folded that over there, like that. And then I took my curly cutter. I'm sure it has a better name than that, but it's called a punch, isn't it? I don't know what the I don't know what the shape is called. I'm going to call it a curly cutter. And then I cut it out. There we go. And then I took, so I'll use this one in a minute for the sake of demonstration, stuck that into the back, like so. I literally just took glue and stuck around the edge. And then I stuck down this piece. So that then gave me like a little notebook thing, but obviously that then was inside, and that's where the white comes from then, because it's from the bit on the back. So this is ideal for those white bits of paper that we've got. And then I took some elements from the kit, and I've added some stitching and a bit of music paper and some lace. And there's one of the stamps there out of Rose's kit. And then on the back is a pocket. Again, this is a lovely piece of the ephemera from the kit, and some more bits and pieces here from the kit as well. And I've just stitched around that and then stuck it down. And then inside, then we've got, this is one of the postcards that come with the kit. And I've just loaded that up then with some ephemera. See what I mean? Some beautiful images in here, really beautiful. And then this side, I stamped the back of this page then. I didn't stamp, I stenciled. I stenciled the back of the page. And then I got a tag, I sewed around the tag, sewed a tab onto the top of it so it kind of like looked like a tag. And then I stuck it onto the page to make a pocket with it. And in there then I've put a journaling card with one of the tabs, because the kit comes with tabs as well. So that was amazing. So yeah, so that was the third thing that I found to do with my stained glass windows. So there we go. That's everything from me today. I hope you enjoyed watching both of the videos. I hope you, if you haven't yet seen Rose's video, now go back, because she has much more in-depth ways of making stained glass windows, and it was actually fascinating to watch. I just couldn't order the stuff in time to have a go, so hence why I used my pens, but they did the job. So if that's all you've got is pens, then use some pens. But go on to our Facebook group. There is, all of these images have come from Rose's freebies, and if you go into the file section in the Facebook group, you will find the images that she's uploaded. She's also put into the Facebook group a couple of freebies from the kit as well. So she's been very kind. So if you do want to pop over and check those out. But yeah, so this is the sort of things that you could do with your stained glass windows. Obviously, we don't want to show you how to make stuff and then not show you how you can use it, because you know, sometimes it's a bit like, okay, this is great, but what can I do with it? So now you have lots of ideas and you can go off and make something beautiful. Now, don't forget, if you do make something, you need to put the hashtag, put up a picture, or if you do it on a YouTube video, put the hashtag JJ Shenanigans on there, because that will enter you then into the prize draw, okay? But like I say, go back and check out Rose's video, video number 1, and you will find out all of the details about how you enter, and you'll also find out all the tips and tricks on making stained glass windows. I will be back with you now on Thursday for Celtic Crosses. Looking forward to it, and I shall see you all then very soon. Have a great week. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. Bye now.